when heaven trembles and time falters. Cosmic signs and the shaking of creation. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we now step into one of the most awe-inspiring and unsettling themes in all of Scripture. Not just the judgment of people, but the shaking of creation itself. In this episode, we draw from the powerful visions found in Book of Revelation chapters 6 through 8, alongside the mysterious warnings in Book of Enoch chapter 80, and echoes from other apocalyptic writings that speak of a world thrown out of order. And what we see is this: when God begins to move in judgment, creation responds. Let's bring this down in simple terms. We're used to the sun rising every morning, the moon keeping its rhythm, the stars holding their place in the sky. It feels constant, predictable, safe. But Scripture tells us there will come a time when even these things begin to shift. In Revelation, the imagery is striking. The sun becomes darkened, the moon turns like blood, stars fall from the sky. The earth trembles, mountains move, islands shift. It's as if the very systems that hold the world together begin to unravel. Now, when we look at Enoch 80, we see something deeply connected. It speaks of a time when the order of heaven is disrupted. The calendar is thrown off, seasons no longer align as they should. Time itself begins to feel off. Not just physically, but rhythmically. And here's the core truth we need to understand. Creation is not separate from God. It responds to Him. From the very beginning, creation was set in order by His voice. So when He begins to judge, that order begins to shake. Think of it like this. If a building has a deep foundation, everything above it stands firm. But if the foundation is shaken, everything else feels it. Creation is like that structure. And when God moves at the deepest level, everything responds. This is not just about natural disasters. This is about divine disruption. A breaking of what seemed permanent to reveal what is eternal. Let's talk about the sun, moon, and stars for a moment. In Scripture, they don't just give light, they mark time. Days, seasons, years. They're like God's clock. So when they are disrupted, it's not just a sky event, it's a signal, a warning, a declaration that something far bigger is happening. The earth trembling? That's not random either. It's creation reacting to the weight of God's presence and judgment. Throughout the Bible, when God moves in power, the earth shakes. Mount Sinai trembled. The temple shook. Because creation recognizes its creator, even when humanity does not. Now here's where it becomes deeply personal. This isn't just about what will happen out there. It's about what it means for us. Because when everything that seems stable begins to shake, we are forced to ask, what am I standing on? In a world where systems can fail, where time itself can feel uncertain, where the ground beneath us isn't as steady as we thought, there is only one thing that remains unshaken: God. And this is why these passages matter. They are not just warnings, they are invitations. Invitations to anchor your life in something eternal before everything temporary begins to shift. So don't just hear this as fear. Hear it as truth and even hope. Because the shaking is not meaningless, it is purposeful. It is God revealing that He alone holds authority over heaven, earth, and time itself. Core insight. When God begins to judge, creation itself testifies. The heavens dim, the earth trembles, and time falters under His authority. So as we close this episode, let this settle in your heart. One day, the sun may not shine as it always has. The stars may not stay where they are. The earth may not feel as steady as it does now. But God will remain. And if you are anchored in Him, you will stand, even when everything else shakes. Final thought. When creation begins to tremble, it is not losing control. It is responding to the one who never has.